Welcome back to Revolt Black News Weekly. This week, we focus on Revolt's Moguls in the Making. It's a very rich and inspiring conversation that catches up with the young minds of tomorrow and those who've helped our HBCU students find the reality of success. Joining me are previous winners, Andre Wilkes and Joshua Weaver. I want to start with you, Joshua. Take us through what you're doing now and how the Moguls in the Making program set you up to win.
So currently now, I work as a product strategist at Allies TM Studio. And fortunately enough for me, being that I was on the winning team and being that I graduated in May, I was able to leverage that and the competition. And instead of getting a guaranteed internship, I was able to convert it into a full-time role.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. How did going through that program motivate you to take your Mogul in the Making status to the next level?
It motivated me in a variety of ways. It motivated me to always want to take that step outside of my comfort zone and trying something new, because you'll never know what's on the other side of that door, what opportunities, what type of growth you'll receive as a person.
Andre, take us through what you're doing now and how the MITM program set you up to win.
Well, I had to go back to school and finish my last year at Howard University. I'm a senior right now.
Yeah.
But Mogul set me up to win by forming this direct pipeline. They set a direct and tangible pipeline to an internship. And with that experience and what I was able to do at Ally, and with a big name like Ally, I think they set me up pretty well for what I'll do next.
So tell me about, while you guys were in the program, what you actually ended up pitching to win the competition.
So we came up with the idea of a community center, and at this community center, the citizens of the community can come in and use it. There would be a gym, a playground for the kids, and a botanical garden. And all of the equipment that was utilized in the community center, you were able to conduct energy.
We created a product named Funnel that was meant to funnel people in the community straight to a corporation or an employer, targeting the problem of middle-skilled jobs, because Charlotte, which was our problem area, had a problem that half of their job market was middle-skilled jobs. So on our platform, you could receive a certification, which would be a trade or a middle-skill certification in-house and for free. And on that same platform, it would directly funnel you to an employer.
How has both of your financial literacy been enhanced having gone through Moguls in the Making and Thurgood Marshall College Fund?
In a personal sense, the competition made me understand what those big numbers, the higher the numbers get, the more I was able to understand how far they could stretch or how not so far they could stretch. And then I just translated that to personal finance. But then professionally, I learned what makes up an ask, what to look for.
Right.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. Foundationally, it started with the competition. And for me, the problems that I always had was taking the idea and making it a real thing. But also the human-centered design principles that we learned from the competition, it kind of taught me how to better define what the problem is that you're solving for with the business or whatever it may be. And that was actually very monumental for me, because I felt like a lot of the ideas that I was having didn't really solve anything yet.
Now joining me are Marketing and PR Officer for Ally Financial, Andrea Brimmer, Ambassador for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, Terrence J, and George Spencer, Chief Development Officer of the fund. Andrea, I want to start with you. When you see the springboard that's been set up through Ally, how proud of you are the young men and women who are trying to succeed on this new path?
Oh, I mean, it's everything. It's very emotional. I was actually at Art Basel last year, and I had two young men come up to me just on the street and say, we were part of Moguls, and you don't know us, but we want you to know that Ally changed, and that program changed the trajectory of our lives forever.
Wow.
And it was a very emotional moment for me, and when you realize you're making that kind of impact, it's everything.
Yeah, it makes it all worth it, I'm
does.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. George, tell us what the Thurgood Marshall College Fund is about and how the partnership with Ally came to be.
Sure. So Thurgood Marshall College Fund was founded in 1987 by Dr. N. Joyce Payne. It was actually named after the first black Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall. And it was founded as a scholarship fund. But over the years, we learned that it wasn't just important to get students to school. We wanted to help them get through school. And so we formed 4 pillars. Scholarships was still foundational. Then programmatic support through things that we do like innovation entrepreneurship with Ally, capacity building, and then policy and advocacy.
Terrence, how did your ambassadorship come to be?
So let's take it all the way back. I'm in college, a young Terrence J. I'm on academic probation.
Wow.
And I had a teacher that came in my life and told me, look, you're a class clown. I see you goofing off all the time. You got to channel that energy and get with the right people. And I met a mentor from the Thurgood Marshall, it was the College Fund at the time, and it completely changed my life. Because of this program, I was able to stay in school. Because I was able to stay in school, I was able to take this energy that I had and start a career in broadcasting that I still have to this day. And so to come back now and be an ambassador, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, talk to me about, you know, where that shift happened and what advice you can give maybe other people struggling.
Absolutely. You know, Jay-Z says that we all have genius level ability within us, right? Everybody is skilled in something, right? But you have to hone in and turn what that talent might be into actual skill. It's putting in the hours, it's getting that focus. So you have to surround yourself with the right people. And so it's not just a scholarship fund where they give some money so you can stay in school or anything like that. You're getting time with high level executives. You're getting time with other students from other universities. So you who went to Spelman, you're able to now meet the top brightest students that went to Howard, that went the top students that went to FAMU, and you're competing against the students that went to North Carolina A&T. So you're raising the bar, you're raising your game, you're also networking. It's just this entire infrastructure of greatness. And when we talk about Black excellence, that's what it's all about.
Andrea, what does Ally stand for when it comes to representation in diversity, and how does that mission translate in these programs?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think as a financial services institution, we have an obligation to make society have better economic mobility. And when you talk about that in terms of the ecosystem of really everyone in society, that means that as a bank, we have to represent whether you are Black, whether you are white, whether you are Asian American, it doesn't matter. We have to make sure that we are putting out products and information and financial literacy that make sure that everybody has their best financial possibilities and their best financial world.
George, what goes through your mind when you see these young men and women become so driven to compete and to ultimately win?
So I think it really kind of boils down to three words: pride, hope, and inspiration. I'm super proud of them, right? Mainly because of the amplification of the talent. One of the biggest myths at our HBCUs is that talent doesn't exist. And to see them come and perform the way they do is just phenomenal.
I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for coming in. We'll be right back.